1059.com.
What up there? Yeah. Let's go. Light that fire. Kicking tires and lighting fires with you on this Tuesday in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio, Farm Bureau Insurance. Go! The home team, they are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Your hometown heroes, that's your local Farm Bureau Insurance agents. Well. Do we have a situation on our hands or what? Hey, and Bill, I don't know what it is, but I got an echo coming back. It's a teeny tiny echo. I don't know if it's in there, if it's in the line or what, but it sounds like it's gone now. I don't know how to describe it other than the fact that yesterday we accurately portrayed the idea that we had history made and being made, at this time yesterday, potentially history being made. Well, it happened. Strike up the band. Southern Miss is up there at the top of college baseball. They're now hosting a super regional, and look who's coming to town this weekend. Whoa! Listen to congrats to Scott Berry and the Southern Miss fan base, the Southern Miss baseball team. A one-run win over LSU yesterday. That was one heck of a ball game. 8-7 the final. It was back and forth and nip and tuck and inch by inch the whole way. And Southern Miss able to get the win and win their own regional. They are now hosting a super regional. Southern Miss is 2 wins away from her trip to Omaha. I think it'd be the second time ever. They've been in 2009. And so, they're 2 wins away. Standing in the way this weekend in Hattiesburg because they scored 3 touchdowns and went for 2, apparently, yesterday against Arizona, Mike Bianco and the Ole Miss Rebels. Hats off, boys. Yeah, hats off to you. Ole Miss is in. DT couldn't wait. DT couldn't even wait 5 seconds, and he texted the show in the Country Please and text line and said, now let's hear some forward Rebels, Matt. Yeah, and there you go, DT. Just like you ordered. Man. So you've got history. You're going to watch a little history. It's never happened before in the state of Mississippi, and we're here smack dab in the middle of a college baseball state for sure. I've pointed out in every metric you want to back it up, we can back it up. But nobody supports college baseball like the state of Mississippi. Look at all the other states. I don't care how big or how small. Nobody supports it better. Nobody invests more in it. I would say, certainly per capita, if you want to look at it that way in terms of investing, than the state of Mississippi. And as you sit right here, and I know that State's out of it. This is not State's year. Last year was State's year to go and win the whole shooting match and win their first national championship in school history. And it should come in baseball for State, and it did. Last year was State's year. This was decidedly not State's year. I know they're not in it. But you're sitting there, we've got a state here where we brag on the baseball all the time. And one team, at least for one school, one program, at least for a few more weeks, are reigning champs. They're holding the trophy from last year. And the other 2 are about to square off and butt heads with each other in Hattiesburg. And a best 2 out of 3 is going to send one of them to a trip to Omaha. I mean, and it's like I said, that's never happened before. You've never had that in the state of Mississippi where one of the schools hosted another school from the state in a super regional. They've obviously hosted each other in regionals before, but not in a super regional. So the history we talked about possibly being made, here it is. So you got 2 Mississippi teams, 1 trip to Omaha. Who's it going to be? And by the way, yes, they did. play each other in the regular season. We'll go over that. 3 games set. Well, potentially. It's a best of 3, so it could go to 3. And the schedule, by the way, we'll hit the schedule for you just so you know. The schedule is going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, if necessary, for the Hattiesburg Super Regional. Some of the, I guess, half of the sites are going to go Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The other half of the sites are going to start, on Saturday, play Saturday, Sunday, and then go into Monday if necessary. If you haven't known yet, if you hadn't seen, you just knew they were going to play, but you didn't know the game times, it's 3 o'clock each day, Saturday and Sunday, 3 Central. First pitch Saturday, weather permitting, and then 3 Central Sunday, weather permitting. All right, so welcome in. Well, let's get it started. Your comments coming up if you're on the live stream. Hey to y'all, if you're on YouTube or Facebook checking out the show, feel free to hit me up there, type a comment in, and I'll see it all in nice one place, clean and one column there. I can see what everybody's saying, and we can get that in on the show. Feel free to also text me today, Country Pleasing text line, 885-ESPN. It's a 601 number, 885-ESPN or 885-3776. That's the number. Call me on the Davini phone. Number's 995-1059. That's the number to call. Good to hear your voice that way. 601 number, 995-1059. That's the Davini Equipment phone line. So hit me up right there. First up, your texts on the Country Pleasing text line. Joey just texted and said, Ole Miss just scored again. Yeah. I mean, 22 runs. Elko hits 3 home runs. He's now the new single-season record holder and climbing. Man. Past Brian Petway. Great guy, great family, Vicksburg kid. Went to Warren Central High School, went on to Ole Miss, set a bunch of records hitting home runs back in the live bat days. Can I say that? Before the BB Core stuff, right? It came in there. But he was on some of those early Mike Bianco teams that were in the early 2000s that were really, really good. Petway hit a home run in the SEC tournament in Hoover one year that the ball still hasn't landed, and that was 20 years ago. Like flew the big scoreboard they used to have out in center field. So, Elko passes him. Joey, thanks for the text. Hogjowl texts the show and says, Last week, my wife and I took a short vacation. We went to Hot Springs for a couple of days. Years ago, we were married there, so we try to go often. The first day it poured, so we stayed in the hotel. Lo and behold, Beth found the Hallmark Channel, and I knew I was trapped. Hogjowl says, I found out a lot that day. Number 1, city girls move to small towns and meet handsome cowboys. Look, Hogjowl, you just described the storyline, the plot, the setting. Well, maybe not plot. The setting and the backdrop for 9 out of 10 Hallmark movies. City girl moves to small town, meets handsome cowboy. You nailed that. He says, number 2, there's always an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend trying to cause havoc. And number 3, what does he say here? Jesse Schramm and Lacey, I don't know how to say that last name, have been the lead actresses in about 75 of the Hallmark movies. And then he says, P.S. Go Hogs. Yeah, Hogs have advanced to a super. Look, Hogjowl, it used to be Aunt Becky was the main character in most of the Hallmark movies, and then she had her troubles. And so then it became DJ from Full House, most of the time lead character. And now there's a few others that are becoming the lead character in some of the Hallmark movies. DT said, on a more serious note, did Prince ever get you some of that chickenless pot pie? No, he did hook me up, though, with some bacon from Williams Brothers. Bacon and cheese. They cut off a big slice of cheese there. He hooked me up with that. And but I'm still waiting on the chickenless pot pie. Yeah. Danny on Facebook said Hallmark only owns the rights to one script. Is that right? Back on the baseball subject, on YouTube, Will commented. He said Southern will certainly set an attendance record this weekend. Hey, Bill, you and I were talking about that a while ago. It's going to be a madhouse in Hattiesburg this weekend.
Yes. If you go down there, be ready for some traffic.
I mean, they already have some traffic, and then, of course, their campus will be wrapped up, and the stadium will be full. Outfield, right field, roost will be full. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere on Saturday at 3 o'clock, Sunday at 3, regardless. And you get it into Monday. If they have to play a game 3 on Monday, nobody down there will go to work. When I say down there, I mean nobody that's going to the game is going to forego it on Monday to go back to work. It ain't going to happen. You know, nobody around the state to get anything done. Now, Will did throw in there Hail State. He said, looks like 2 Mississippi teams are playing in a super regional this weekend, just like we all thought at the start of the season. Yeah. Yeah, just a different 2, right? Ginger is rooting for USM. She's on Facebook, says, I hope USM goes to the College World Series. And I'm a big USM fan, too. I'll be honest with you, I was really, really genuinely rooting for Southern Miss yesterday against LSU. I was. And at one point, it struck me, and I thought, you know, I don't think I've genuinely rooted for another college team like this other than Mississippi State. I don't think I've done it. I've had games I've watched and you kind of want to see something happen, you know, but this, I was genuinely into it. Like, yeah, let's go. If everything goes according to plan, we'll get a chance to talk to Scott Berry later in the show. All right, let's hit the phone line real quick. Davini Equipment phone, Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. Judy hanging on line 1. Hey, Judy.
Hey, Matt. The last time I talked to you, I asked you if it was time to cry. Do you remember that phone call?
Yeah, I do, and sure enough, it was.
Yes, and I am, I'd like to say, a patriotic American. Our national bird is an eagle.
Right.
Guess who I'm pulling for?
Well,
not to mention the fact that my brother-in-law went to Southern.
Okay. Well, that's as good a reason as any. That's what I think.
Yeah. Yes. And I bleed maroon blood. I have the red, white, and blue for my country. I just can't be a turncoat and support Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And look, true.
They've thrown beer on me at a football game years ago in the stands. And not baseball, but football. But Southern has done great this year.
Yeah.
And I just really hope they can pull it all off.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. It's really one of those where, like, you know, if you ask me on a personal note, Judy, and I know I'm different from you, but on a personal note, if there was a way that I could see Mike Bianco and Scott Berry both get to go coach in Omaha, I'd be fine with that. You know, and only one can go. But it's just such a neat story. And the other thing about it is this too. You know, it's not so much like it's not at all like for me, Judy, like rooting against Ole Miss. It's just we're sitting here in 2022 in this era of college sports just totally transforming before our eyes, right? And the idea in football and basketball, those two big sports in particular, football and basketball, is that, you know, the little guys, the schools without big conference affiliations and TV contracts and money are going to have no shot ever to win anything in football and basketball. They're just not with the way things are going. And so the fact that we still have a baseball season this year where there's a team like Southern Miss from a conference like Conference USA, albeit in their last year, that could go and could pull something off, they are easy to pull for. It's pulling for the underdog.
Oh, they are, yeah. They've got a great coach. And the players I've heard interview are so humble. You can't help but cheer for them.
Yeah, I noticed that too. And, you know, the other thing too, Judy, you're there in the Jackson area. They have so many kids from that area. You know, from Hinds County and Madison County and just all right around there.
Say Rankin County, because that's where I am now.
Rankin County. I mean, they got so many local kids too, so they're easy to pull for a lot of reasons. Yeah, I agree with you.
And they're the little guys, and and I like to pull for the underdog.
Yeah.
So
I'm
they
genuinely,
definitely got my voice.
Yeah.
During the World Series.
Yeah. Thanks,
Good
Judy.
to talk to you again.
You too. It's always good
Bye-bye.
to hear from you. Thank you. Appreciate the phone call, as always, from Judy. On Facebook, Joseph said Ole Miss's third straight super regional. How about that? I mean, when you consider, I know State, again, is out of it this year. They're coming off a run where they went to 5 straight supers, 3 straight Omahas, 3 straight supers now for Ole Miss, which this third one is in Hattiesburg at Southern Miss. Southern Miss is what? They've hosted a couple times in the last 5 years now. And now would be, including the Super, would be 3 times they've hosted something in the last, 5 years? It's just incredible. I mean, so we're living in a time here where in the recency, the most recent years, where the teams and the programs are rewarding the support and the fan bases, which I know those things are tied together, but rewarding all of us for the support and the interest in it. It kind of goes hand in hand. It's like Danny said on Facebook, what a great day for college baseball in the Magnolia State. It is. Keith is a big Dog fan. He says SM, Southern Miss to the top. I think there's one more T supposed to be in there, Keith. I think it's 3 T's. Southern Miss, and that's SM, to the top. So we need 3 T's. Next Gen Reb, Country Pleasing text line. Country Pleasing sausage on grocery store shelves and in Walmart throughout the southeastern United States. Next Gen Reb says, there were lots of people that said Ole Miss didn't deserve their spot in the tournament, the last team to get in. We couldn't debate that until we could debate that until we're blue in the face. But all that matters is they got in. Whatever happens after, so far the after has been incredible. I mean, it really has. Go 3-0 at a national siege regional, including 2 wins over the team that put you out last year, including the third or the second win over the team that put you out last year. You score 22 runs and Elko hits 3 of them. 3 home runs and sets a new school record. And I'm going to skip ahead to a more recent text here on the Country Pleasing text line just to drill it home. Thank you, Boomer Sooner, on the Country Pleasing text line. Says, hey, Matt, did Ole Miss fire Bianco yet? Where are they? Where are they? See, here's the thing about that, Boomer Sooner. Gosh, if I'm not careful, I'm just going to go on and on. Nobody wants to hear me go on and on about that again. But here's the thing about that. It's just like the shock jock media guys who don't care if they're right or wrong or accurate or inaccurate. All they want are clicks. Okay, so the dumber they can post, the more stupid thing they could possibly say, the more clicks they'll get. So they go that route. And then they come back, and when they are wrong, or when it is shown that it is stupid and that there was never any substance to it, there's never any accountability on their part. They don't have to come back and say, yeah, I did it for clicks. Because, then the cat's out of the bag, right? Well, the same thing is with fans who way, way, way overreact in the middle of a season during a downturn on the baseball, especially in baseball. And all those people who posted, tick, 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 fire, 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 fire. People who called here. People who texted here. Time for them to go. Time's up. Fire him. Got to move on. Wearing paper bag. We're going to wear paper bags to the stadium. All those people, we don't hear from them now. So we hear from them then, but we don't hear from them now. I'd have great respect for anyone who calls or texts and says, look, I was one of those who was dead wrong, and I actually owe him an apology. And if I see him, I'm going to apologize. I would absolutely respect that. But they hide. Just like these media people hide. Be careful who you give your attention to. And let me say another thing. If you don't hear anything else on this show today, please hear this. Everybody on the live stream on YouTube and Facebook, listen. Everybody on the text line, everybody on the phone line, listen. One of these teams is going to Omaha this year. One of them is. You pay very close attention to the media entities in this state who send somebody to Omaha this year, but they didn't see it necessary to foot the bill and send anybody to go to Omaha last year. It will be important to them this year because of who's in it. It wasn't important to them last year. because of who was in it. You go back and research and you pay attention. That's all I'll say about that. Gotcha, Keith. He said fat fingers, SMTTT. He's got 3 T's in there now. Here we go. Country Please and text line. H-Day says, being an MSU grad, I'll have to flip it backwards and pull for Southern Miss. Hail Eagles. This is bizarro world, isn't it? Nick says it's Williamsville to the locals, Matt. Also, try the hoop cheese next. Well, I think that's what I got. They had the netting around the outside of it. They cut me a big slice of that off of there. Yeah, and Philip Prince called it in Philadelphia. Philip called it Williamsville. And then I was like, I thought it was Williams Brothers. And we've been educated on that. It is, to the locals, Nick, it is Williamsville in Philadelphia. To the rest of us, it says Williams Brothers on the front of the store. White Denzel said, off topic, who are you cutting from these 5 players? Keep in mind, all these players are in their prime. Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Ted Williams, Willie Mays, Babe Ruth. Now, how am I supposed to know that, Denzel? You talk about coming out of nowhere with something that I really can't answer. All I know is that Hank Aaron is number 1 in that group, period. End of story. The end. If you're like, choose this or choose that, if you're including Hank Aaron, you don't even have to ask me. That's the way I'm going every single time in any conversation. Base hits, doubles, triples, average, longevity, offense plus defense, home runs. Give me Hank Aaron. Every time. Just getting started with you. Lots of texts and comments on the live stream to get to. All coming up. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Get this handsomely designed Timex self-wind. Is priced at only $14.95.
Hey guys, here at Davini, here's something we've got going on all our trailers. So we carry Orange Line, we carry Premier, we carry Performance, and we carry Texas Bragg. So all different sizes, shapes, configurations, from 20-foot trailers to dump trailers to 12-foot trailers, 10-foot trailers, we've got it all here at Davini. We not only sell trailers outright, but we also have a rent-to-own program. You guys could come in, 10% down, no credit check. You can leave out today with a trailer at a low price, monthly payment, no credit check at all. So you guys come check out our trailers. We have a lot of them here, and they're ready to go.
In insurance, it's our job to handle storms. And though coronavirus is a storm different than most, the agents, adjusters, and employees at Farm Bureau Insurance stand ready to extend a hand, love our neighbors, and work earnestly to serve our customers and communities. Our mission hasn't changed, so our work does not stop. If you need us, call your local agent, use the claims hotline, or visit us online. Be safe, stay healthy, keep Mississippi strong, and go with the home team.
I don't like to say house divided. I like to say we have best of both.
Growing up in Alabama obviously puts college football in your lap at an early age. You know, you go to even preschool, and kids are like, who do you pull for? Alabama or Auburn.
So I was elected homecoming queen in the year 2000 at Ole Miss, and that was a really fun experience. It garnered a nickname for me from Matt. He calls me HQ, and I call him QB a lot. So
my name's Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show and podcast, and I host it in a studio in my house, and I've been doing that now for about 3.5 years. We used to have cable. And the biggest issue was when there would be a disconnect, and at times it would do that. I'd be mid-sentence, we're in this big discussion about some ball game, and it's gone. Annabeth can tell you, my excitement was genuine when I started seeing the C-Spire trucks up and down the street.
He was like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like, did you see that? C-Spire is in the neighborhood.
So the day that he installed that, I started uploading. And I watched those 6 audio files go, I mean, just one after the other. And it's taken away a lot of the little stressors that would add up.
And it's just made everything better.
Thanks, Bill.
You're very welcome.
Thanks, homecoming queen. Good to see you. Country Pleasin' sausage. It's the best I've ever eaten, and I believe you'll feel the same way if you try it. Some of my favorite flavors are jalapeno and cheddar, pepper jack and green onion, and of course the original smoked sausage flavor. Look for Country Pleasin' in grocery stores and Walmart all over the Southeast and online at countrypleasin.com. New King James Bible, Matthew chapter 4. What is a follower of Jesus? Matthew chapter 4, 18 and 19. Terry Fant, the pastor at Hickory Ridge, said this, and I think he's exactly right. Verse 18, and Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw two brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So if you and I are following Jesus, what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus? We're following his teachings. We're studying that. We look to him for everything. We understand who he is, the magnitude of what he is and what he's done for us. But he says, follow me and I will make you fishers of men.
Matt Wyatt is in the house on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
Yeah, back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go with the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the great state of Mississippi. Will, you asked me a question on YouTube a minute ago. And yes, I just wanted to highlight this real quick. Will said, did you see the controversial call in the Maryland-UConn game? The runner should have been safe. Well, here's the thing, Will. I got to be careful about getting too, out of whack here, chasing this story down the road, or I'll get way distracted and we got other stuff to talk about. There's, y'all can imagine we had 1,000 comments and texts already this morning. I did see it. Okay, and Jeff Head was the home plate umpire for that Maryland-UConn game. He's a guy that he must live around here because he umpires a million Mississippi State and Ole Miss and Southern Miss games. Well, he's up there doing that one. Will, I thought he made the right call. He's watching the baseline. And you can see on the replay that by the letter of the law, the runner was in fair territory. He was not in that lane up the foul line. He was in fair territory. Both feet were inside in the field of play, and that's where the ball was thrown. Now, you and I can argue where the first baseman was when he tried to field it, and he was leaning over. But it didn't matter as according to where the ball was thrown and where the runner was. That was the right call. You're going to get called out by most umpires in that situation, especially with that throw going up the line and the runner is not where he's supposed to be on or outside the line. He's inside the line. So I thought they got the call right. If y'all missed it, to describe the scenario, it was a big deal, okay, because this was a 2-run ball game, I believe. I believe I have that right. I think it was maybe 10-8. UConn was ahead 10-8. Maryland batting. 8th inning, at home, down by 2 runs, their best player at the plate, and a runner at third base. So the tying run at the plate. He hits a chopper back towards the pitcher. It's like a swinging bunt. Runner's coming down the third base line to score. The pitcher fields the swinging bunt, comes up the line, throws it to first base, but the runner is in front of him, between him and the first baseman, inside the line in the field of play. When the ball was thrown, the first baseman didn't field it because, bam, the runner ran smooth into him on the bag. I mean, big collision. First baseman's down. Initially he's safe at first base. The run scores. It's a 1-run game. The tying run's on first base, but Jeff Head goes, whoa, wait. No. Runner interference. He's out. Out number 2 in the inning. Put the runner back on third. I felt like he got the call right, Will, myself. And I will say this. It would make any fan base mad, but I thought the Maryland fan base was just I don't know. They were just nasty about it. And I feel like you're mad, but a lot of SEC fan bases are going to watch that replay in the stadium and go, yeah, shoot. That's right. He was inside there. He was at both feet in fair territory. We can't have that. That's kind of how I felt that would be judged. I just thought I would, bring that up. And by the way, if y'all are on the live stream, thanks for all the comments and the questions. You can see, there's a long list of conversations going on. I couldn't possibly get to all of it, but we can get to some of it. Joseph said the regional championship game last year was a classic 12-9 between Ole Miss and Southern. That was last year, regional championship game. So they faced each other in a postseason before. Isn't it something? Talking about Williams Brothers, Daryl said, okay, the red rind cheese, what my dad called comeback cheese. Yeah, they had some of that too. They had a little bit of everything down there. It's a really neat place. Really neat. All right, over here to the country pleasing text line. Jackson Mailman said, if Southern Miss goes on, has Mike Bianco done enough to save his job, or were the rumors during the season going to catch up with him? Yeah, I just don't think so. Look, man, any rumors about anything about Mike Bianco and Ole Miss, it's just none of it was ever true. That's not true. The only reason Mike Bianco won't coach Ole Miss next year is if he decides he doesn't want to do it. The end. And that was true 2 months ago. The end. He's playing in a super regional. Third consecutive super. He's 2 wins away from Omaha. Real C with a text says Mississippi baseball in a 4-year span. 4 consecutive trips to Omaha. Right. Because 3 straight for state. We're going to have a team this year. 1 national championship so far. 1 high school team ranked number 1 in the U.S. And you've had the JUCO national champions. He says solid baseball state. Solid might be an understatement, Real C. Jason in Flagstaff said, I'm pulling for Ole Miss just despite all the Ole Miss goofs who wanted Bianco fired before the season started. Hey, boy, Jason. Walton says, it's your show, Matt. You go on and on about anything you want. We're here to listen. Well, thanks, Walton. I appreciate that. It's just that, sometimes I watch the clock and we have hard breaks, and there are things you'd like to get into or a text you'd like to address. And I know if I get going, it's going to take me, 5 minutes, and then I'll be out of time. I have to pull it back in at some point. Dennis, formerly of Omaha, says, yes, the major media folks are desperately short on self-reflection. You're not kidding. Do anything for attention, anything for a click, and never, ever be accountable for anything. Well, look, maybe that's the way to do well in media. Okay, but it's not real life. Therefore, I ain't interested. Resdog says, if any Mississippi State fans give a dime to the Clarion Liar, they are a fool. And see, look, he went hashtag SMTT. Resdog has got 1 more T in it. There are 3 T's in Southern Miss to the top. Spell it out. Hear the song in your head. To the top. 3. TR from Braxton. TR says, fans are fickle. Despite winning it all last year, you had Bulldog fans that think they should fire the coach. Yeah, you're right. It's about as stupid as some of that other stuff. He says, just happy to have a coach that wins consistently year in and year out. If you're a fan of the school, be a fan consistently. Yeah. Well, again, have some reality mixed in there. Sometimes the reality is after 1 or 2 years, you need to make a change. Sometimes the reality is after 21 or 22 years, you don't need to change anything. What plays on the internet and sometimes on sports radio is not always reality. Stick with reality, man. Nick says, I love Hank Aaron, but Mays is the best player on that list. Mays won back-to-back MVP. All right, hold on. Nick, I respect your opinion. and you may even be right about this, but listen, don't ever use an award, a subjective type award like that, like an MVP or a Heisman or something, in a player debate, a player versus player debate. Don't use it, especially MVPs. Get that out of here. That doesn't matter to anybody. It doesn't even matter to Hank Aaron or Willie Mays. They don't care about MVPs. Don't bring that in here. He said Mays has 12 gold gloves. Again, Mays also led the league in stolen bases for 5 straight seasons. Hey, bring that on now. Bring that on right there now. That's strong. 5 straight years. He also led the league in stolen bases. I'll still take Aaron. Bo and Brandon says, Matt, what's your thoughts on Elko and what he means to this Ole Miss team? Dude is captain material. Well, I'll tell you honestly what I think, Bo. I have been over the last few years inclined, and I still am very much inclined personally on a personal level to root for the guy because he is very outspoken about his faith, about his belief in Jesus, about that he doesn't play for himself. He's not living for himself. He's playing and living for a greater purpose than just, himself and his name and Elko and his number. Okay. Those reasons endear him to me. Now you can say, well, therefore you're a little biased then in talking about the guy. Okay. I'm just saying, I don't care who he plays for and even to what point what he does. Somebody that walks like that and is out in the open like that, I'm on his side. And I appreciate it. So I've been pulling for the guy. I like him a lot. And just like I asked Coach Bianco the other day in the interview, I mean, you're happy for everybody, but for an old guy like Elko who's doing and done what he's done to get another shot, he's like, absolutely. You're most happy for guys like that to get to play some more baseball. And now look what he did. I mean, he's now the single season home run record holder in school history. He's got his team in a super after they were dead in the water. And never forget, you look at his social media. He's steadying the boat all year long saying, hey, don't give up. I'm pulling for that guy. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
A better way to put words on paper. A remarkable electric typewriter, the IBM Selectric. This is what makes it different. An ingenious printing element that works faster than the eye can see.
What is a follower of Jesus? Matthew chapter 4, 18 and 19, verse 18. And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. We look to him for everything. We understand who he is, the magnitude of what he is and what he's done for us. But he says, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And kind of like Terry said, if you're not fishing, you're really not following. Think on that today.
The IBM Selectric is versatile too. From many different snap-on, snap-off elements, you can select the best type style for the job and be ready to type again in seconds.
Country pleasing sausage. It's the best I've ever eaten, and I believe you'll feel the same way if you try it. Some of my favorite flavors are jalapeno and cheddar, pepper jack and green onion, and of course the original smoked sausage flavor. Look for Country Pleasing in grocery stores and Walmart all over the Southeast and online at countrypleasing.com. My favorite coffee in the world is from High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi. My friend Dan the Coffee Man and his crew keep me caffeinated with the best flavors and blends that you're going to find anywhere, like Campfire Blend, Magnolia, and the classic New Albany Blend. Try it. Go to highpointroasters.com today and order some. You won't regret it.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan over here at Davini. Just going to show you a new tractor we just got in. So not only do we offer a full line of Kubota, New Highland, Toro, new equipment, we also carry lots of used stuff. So we just got this one in. This is a Kubota M7060 low hours, even got Bigfoot on the side of it. Not only new stuff, we do carry a lot of used equipment that goes through our shop, save some money, from buying something new. But check us out on our website, www.davini.com. We keep a full list of everything we've got used on there, as well as some new specials too. But yeah, check us out, man. Check us out if you guys are looking for something used.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
In insurance, it's our job to handle storms. And though coronavirus is a storm different than most, the agents, adjusters, and employees at Farm Bureau Insurance stand ready to extend a hand, love our neighbors, and work earnestly to serve our customers and communities. Our mission hasn't changed, so our work does not stop. If you need us, call your local agent, use the claims hotline, or visit us online. Be safe, stay healthy, keep Mississippi strong, and go with the home team.
My name's Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show and podcast, and I host it in a studio in my house, and I've been doing that now for about 3.5 years. We used to have cable, and the biggest issue was when there would be a disconnect, and at times it would do that. I'd be mid-sentence, we're in this big
conversation and tell him what you think right now on the Zone 105.9 and worldwide at thezone1059.com.
All right. Back with you, I'm Matt, in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. They are your home team at Farm Bureau. Across the great state of Mississippi. Staying connected to you because of C Spire, the #1 network in Mississippi. C Spire. Joseph reminding us that Elko was a 5-star player coming out of Florida, but struggled his first 2 seasons playing behind Tyler Keenan, and yet never transferred, and it paid off the last 2 years. I wonder how many stories we're going to have like that in the future with the way things have opened up for kids now. But it usually is best, not always, but it usually is best to stay there, stick it out, keep grinding. It usually will work out better that way. All right, some folks have been patient on the Davini Equipment phone line. Davini Equipment in Madison and in Jackson, your Kubota dealer. First up on line 1, Jason in Flagstaff, Arizona. What's up, Jason?
Nothing much. You asked yesterday about a description of Arizona in September, and I completely missed it when the phone line kicked on. Down there, it's in September. It's not going to be nearly as hot, and it's going to be after a month or so of raining, and it's going to be really pretty down there for anybody that's thinking about going. That's the only time of the year the desert doesn't look like a dried turd. There'll be flowers everywhere and grasses and animals that just popping out of the woodwork. Mm-hmm. And there might even be some snow or hail accumulated up on the sky islands down there. It's really pretty. That's part of the reason I'm going to the game, to flip around the sky island.
So it's a 4-hour drive from you, or 4.5 hours.
It's that's what Google Maps says. It's a little bit more than that, but
yeah, I got you. And so I'm looking at it here, Flagstaff, where you're up in northern Arizona. You get snow, all that stuff. You drive about 120 miles or so south. You hit Phoenix, where it gets to 120 degrees in the summer. And then you keep going another couple of hours south to Tucson, and that's where we're talking about. You're not quite in Mexico, but you ain't far.
No, it gets plenty hot in Tucson, and they get snow on the mountains right outside of town just as much as we do. It's a really weird spot. I don't know how to describe it, except it literally goes from desert to mountains, just like you snap your fingers. It's just weird.
That's neat.
But it's really pretty down there.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing it. And Jason, hopefully it's a deal where You get there, I get there. I'll catch up with you. Maybe we can take a picture or something. At least run into each other.
Yeah,
and say
mate.
hello.
Yeah, I tell you what, you'll like a lot of the old Western stuff down there around town too. It's a lot of the old stuff you see in the Western movies started from down there. I don't remember. I think one of Wyatt Earp's brothers is buried down there or something.
Really?
It's really historical. Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. I was thinking about driving it, but it says it's a 22-hour drive.
Yeah, it is. And if I were you, I would bypass going I-10 and stay on I-40 and add a few hours. You'll see a lot more stuff. I-10 is nothing. Just, I can't remember if it's Dallas that comes through or something like that down in South Texas. After that, there's nothing.
From Tupelo, Mississippi.
I tried it one time.
From Tupelo, Mississippi to Tucson, Arizona, it's 1,519 miles. I wonder what I need to do the math on the cost of gas just to get out there and see what that would cost.
Well, I figured out my last trip home cost me about $1,500 of gas, but I did a lot of driving around from north to south Mississippi, and I can't afford to go back right now. So,
I mean, $1,500, and that was then. That was when gas was $2.50 a gallon. So double it, $3,000. Shoot, man.
But now that's not just for the trip. That's a whole lot of visiting.
Yeah.
Like I got folks in North Mississippi and got some on the coast, and I was going back and forth the whole time I was there.
I got you. Okay.
But it's a lot. Anyway, I'll hang up and listen.
All right.
All right.
Appreciate the call, Jason. Thank you. Flip it over to line 2. Joey hanging on. What's up, Joey?
Hey, Matt. Look, I just went west to California at the first of the year. Look, if you can stay in a plane, just do that. Now, Arizona, Jason's right. It is, for a pretty young state, it's amazing how much history actually is there to be checked out. I would go back for that. That'd be my reason behind going back. There's a lot of stuff I wanted to see, but it was a business trip. So, hey, you know, these folks that came out, the Fire Bianco crowd, the ones that were vocal, maybe they should say, hey, I was wrong. But for the people who were in that collective and just kind of sat on it, Matt, I'll play attorney for them a little bit. And we've all had relationships, whether it be work or marriage, whatever, where maybe we've thought, gosh, if that guy don't show up for work tomorrow, that'd be great. Or that's been thought of us, and then we fixed it. Or your wife has, people we've all had with people. I hope that most people haven't, but a lot of us have had spots in our marriage where, boy, if this came to an end, one of you, one person was afraid to pull the trigger, and the other one later on may be glad of it. But your spouse doesn't owe you an apology for how they felt at that moment, because they didn't run around telling the world they wanted a divorce. It just went through their mind.
I see what you mean.
Those people, so those people don't owe Bianco anything, because no more than your spouse or you owe that employee you didn't like. You don't owe him an apology because you thought if he don't show up tomorrow, that'll be fine. I had somebody who didn't show up today, and it was fine. I don't owe them no apology.
No, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I think that's right. To differentiate between people who might think it versus the people who came and were very vocal and posting all over this and social media and go to a website and say, hey, let's all go to the game wearing paper bags on our heads and tried to organize that. Those people owe somebody an apology.
Well, the Saints fans wore Saints bags on their heads, and a few years later they took them off with pride. I mean, I don't know. I just look, Bianco, it's one of those things where none of us are always at our best, Matt. And that's what sometimes puts our employee, our spouses, or even our pastor in, boy, if I didn't have to deal with them again for a little while, it'd be okay.
Yeah.
We all have times where, I'll just say it, Matt, we're kind of in the suck. We're not in the great. We're kind of in the suck for a moment.
Yeah.
And in there for a moment, Matt Bianco was kind of in the suck. He wasn't doing well. And now he's doing great. So those people who wanted him gone, cut him a little slack. They kind of were right at that point in time. They may be wrong now, but they weren't necessarily wrong then. He wasn't coaching his team to the level they're capable of playing, and that's now being seen. And this kid that professes the Lord, I like him because he is putting himself out there to be held to a higher standard, and I appreciate that, Matt.
Yeah.
I really do. I think that's applaudable.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that.
Man.
Thanks, Joey. Appreciate the call. How about this? Richard, talking about the drive to Arizona. He said, last October, I drove from Pennsylvania to Arizona to deliver a package to the nuke plant. Spent the night sleeping in my van near Flagstaff and nearly froze. Later that day, I almost melted. It was over 90. And he said the drive from Flagstaff, that's North Arizona, down to Phoenix from through Sedona was stunning. But then he says, I would fly if I went back, LOL. So on the gas, I tried to do the math. 1,500 miles one way. And if I averaged, say, in depending on your vehicle, a big SUV's not, but the right vehicle, let's say you average 27 miles a gallon, right? So that's a little over 55 gallons of gas to go 1,500 miles. Didn't I do that right? And then if you could get gas at $4.25 a gallon, a little over 55 gallons, you're talking about between $230 and $240 to get out there one way. So almost, but not, probably by the time you're done, to get out there and get back home, you spent $500 on gas. If my math is correct, which it may not be, there's always a chance that my math isn't correct. Did it sound right to you, Bill?
I think it might be more.
Think it'd be more than that?
Yeah, because as you get out there, the gas gets more expensive.
Well, that's the thing, though. I factored it on averaging $4.25 a gallon. I'm not sure you can get it. You can average that. Maybe I was
in California right now. It's like $6 to $8 a gallon.
Yeah, so I wonder what it is in Arizona.
It's probably close. Well, Jason should know.
Yeah, I mean, Nick said, where are you getting gas for $4.25 a gallon? He's right about that. I probably should have averaged it on 5. Well, let's just do it this way then. If it's a little over 55 gallons of gas one way, okay, that's over $275 if you got it at $5 a gallon. Okay, so you're well over $500. I mean, you're that's just driving straight out there and driving back. You spent $550 on gasoline. Good gracious alive. That's just driving there and driving back. Whoo boy. Well, look at here. Hour one just flew by. Joseph, I hope you're right. Joseph says in September gas will be cheaper. I hope you're right about that. Hour one flew on by. Hour two right around the corner. And we'll start it off with a conversation about baseball. We got baseball on the brain around here. I'm Matt in the Bureau. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Nowadays, more families than ever before are saving their good times in movies. And now Kodak has made showing your movies even easier with the new Brownie automatic movie projectors.
If you see me wearing a Mississippi State hat or shirt, maybe the classic M/S logo or the retro walking bully, it most likely came from the MSU Golf Course Pro Shop. They have the best stuff and the widest selection of gear that I've found for State fans. So go by and see them on Highway 182 or call them at 325-3028. They are Hail State GC on Twitter and Instagram.
They thread themselves automatically. Watch. Right onto the take-up reel. With this model, you can stop the action or reverse it like this for crowd-pleasing comedy effects.
I don't like to say house divided. I like to say we have best of both.
Growing up in Alabama obviously puts college football in your lap at an early age. You know, you go to even preschool and kids are like, who do you pull for? Alabama or Auburn.
So I was elected homecoming queen in the year 2000 at Ole Miss, and that was a really fun experience. It garnered a nickname for me from Matt. He calls me HQ, and I call him QB a lot. So.
My name's Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show and podcast, and I host it in a studio in my house, and I've been doing that now for about 3.5 years. We used to have cable. And the biggest issue was when there would be a disconnect, and at times it would do that. I'd be mid-sentence, we're in this big discussion about some ball game, and it's gone. Annabeth can tell you, my excitement was genuine when I started seeing the C-Spire trucks up and down the street. And
like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like, did you see that? C-Spire is in the neighborhood.
So the day that he installed that, I started uploading. And I watched those 6 audio files go, I mean, just one after the other. And it's taken away a lot of the little stressors that would add up.
And it's just made everything better.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, homecoming queen. Good to see you.
In insurance, it's our job to handle storms. And though coronavirus is a storm different than most, the agents, adjusters, and employees at Farm Bureau Insurance stand ready to extend a hand, love our neighbors, and work earnestly to serve our customers and communities. Our mission hasn't changed, so our work does not stop. If you need us, call your local agent, use the claims hotline, or visit us online. Be safe, stay healthy, keep Mississippi strong, and go with the home team.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
This model shows a whole half hour of movies without interruption. This one weighs less than a telephone. But don't let that compact size fool you. It shows your movies sharp and clear. Prices start at less than $55 or as little as $6 down at most dealers.
Another new thing we've got here, and you can see I'm in a zero-turn lawnmower, but a little different on this one. Instead of just a canopy, we have a full cab. Air conditioning. We just came from outside. It's hot. This is going to be cool in here when you cut grass. So you need this. You really, really, really need this. Kubota ZD121160 mower with a full air-conditioned cab. We have it in stock today at Davini. So if you want to cut grass, because it's hot outside, in the cool, come see us today. You can buy this one today. So.
What is a follower of Jesus? Matthew chapter 4, 18 and 19, verse 18. And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. We look to him for everything. We understand who he is, the magnitude of what he is and what he's done for us. But he says, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. And kind of like Terry said, if you're not fishing, you're really not following. Think on that today. Country Pleasing sausage. It's the best I've ever eaten, and I believe you'll feel the same way if you try it. Some of my favorite flavors are jalapeno and cheddar, pepper jack and green onion, and of course the original smoked sausage flavor. Look for Country Pleasing in grocery stores and Walmart all over the Southeast and online at countrypleasing.com.
So if you're looking for a big skid steer, we've got it. So this is the New Holland 362C machine. 16,000 pounds. It is an absolute monster. Everything on the inside is digital controls. We've got this one configured with a Lofness 71-inch high-flow cutter head, so you can go out and maintain property, trees, brush, underbrush. It will absolutely do the job for you. So if you're looking for a
With more of the Matt Wyatt Show coming to you direct and live at the Zone 105.9 and worldwide.
Now, here we go.
At the Zone1059.com.
All right, here we go. Let her rip, Tater Chip. Hour number 2 of the show, off and running with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team, they are your home team at Farm Bureau Insurance across the state of Mississippi. Staying connected to you because of C-Spire. All right, so hour 2, we are off and running in just a few minutes. If everything goes according to plan, we'll get a chance to talk baseball with Scott Berry from Southern Miss, fresh off yesterday's win for his team, advancing to a super regional that they will host this weekend against a team they played twice this year, and they split. The Ole Miss Rebels. So more on that in just a bit. First, though, let's jump over here to start the hour on the phone line, the Divinity Equipment phone line. Lynn on line 1. What's up, Lynn? You there, Lynn?
Talk about that.
Hey,
yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, got you. Go ahead.
You transitioned to baseball talk, so I'll be quick. I was just gonna say, y'all was talking about the Arizona fuel price to get out there. Now think about an 18-wheeler going out there.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, I mean, I'm a novice, Lynn. Is it diesel? Is it always diesel?
Yes, in an 18-wheeler, yes.
Right. So you're talking about easily, I mean, even here, it's way up over $5 a gallon. Right?
Right. And the cheapest gas price I seen the last time I was in Arizona, I believe, was over $5.30. And that's been about a month back, and I'm pretty sure it was over $5.30 for gas.
Whew.
Diesel was about $5.95. Diesel in California was like $8.
Man.
Yeah. So that's why everything's so high. But hey, I'm not no USM fan, but to the top.
There you go. I've heard that a bunch, Lynn. I appreciate it. Thank you. I've heard a lot of that. I mean, like I said, we talked about early in the first hour. You know, if on a personal level, it'd be great if somehow Scott Berry and Mike Bianco could both go coach games in Omaha, but that ain't the way sports work, right? And, you know, it's really easy to get behind Southern Miss, root for them. A lot of people rooting for Southern Miss. And, man, such a great atmosphere. And you talk about a pleasure to watch. And they play the game the right way. Emotional when they need to be. Locked in when they need to be. And it's resulted, and they're not there yet. You know, and if you're in that clubhouse, the journey really is just beginning. I mean, those of us on the outside, we're already patting them on the back and offering congratulations. But when you're in it, when you're in the helmet or you're in the shin guards, you're in the batter's box, you're on the mound, it's just getting started. Nowhere near finished. That's the approach. But like I said, we still feel as though we can offer some congratulations and celebrate to this point. And it's a heck of a deal for the entire state of Mississippi. I'll say that much. All right. On your radio right now, they're at the top of college baseball right now, that's for sure. Still with work to do. He is the head baseball coach at Southern Miss, Scott Berry. Fresh off that win, a one-run win yesterday over the LSU Tigers. It advanced his Golden Eagles to a super regional that they will host this weekend with Ole Miss coming to town. It's going to be a heck of a deal. Coach Berry, really do appreciate some time here on the day after what was a big win for you and your program. Did you sleep? Did you get any rest?
Well, I finally did. My wife was like, you need to go to bed. And she said, I know you're exhausted. I said, no, I was exhausted Saturday night after that gut punch that they gave us. And we lost that game. Now I'm too wired to try to sleep. So I eventually went to sleep and did have a great wake up this morning. And it's a great day in our program, and couldn't be more proud of our guys. Matt, I mean, obviously you've competed at a very high level, and the goals that you set at the beginning of the year to see those after a lot of hard work and a long journey to date, man, it's so rewarding to see our guys with those smiles and the hugs and just all the excitement as we get ready for the next step.
No question. And, watching it yesterday, Coach, a one-run game, just like the other night, it went the other way. This a one-run game goes your way. You have to grind every out, every at-bat to get the win. And you got so many guys, you could single out things that happen, but it's hard to not start with Danny Lynch and the day he had yesterday, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I'll tell you what, he's one of our captains. He's one of the guys that really is there when things are tough and trying to get people, pulling them up and encouraging them. And you got to have that on the inside. A coach can only do so much, and a lot of it plays in the hands of those leaders within your team because they spend the most time with each other. And, Danny's one of those kind of guys that just has that ability to lead and lead by example, lead by his actions, his voice. And, his day yesterday, 3 for 4, and that all-important sac fly to give us the go-ahead run in the top of the ninth, and then made the play of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I don't know how many of your listeners watched it, but LSU, the first out in the bottom of the ninth, a guy just absolutely hits a laser that he's able to catch in a tough play at third and retire the runner on a 5-3. So outstanding day for him and all his teammates.
Coach, you brought it up. I was sitting here with that in my back pocket going to throw it at you and try to impress you, okay, because I was going to point out after everything he did at the plate, and then in the top of the ninth, he's a hero. He drives a run in, but he's locked in and made – yes, you sort of described, you said it's a play of the game. You won't see a harder shot, one hopper to a third baseman to sort of handcuff him, that play that he made. And that's the way LSU has won some games, isn't it? Is they come back and do something in the bottom of the ninth and get it going. If he doesn't make that play, we could be having a different story.
Well, we couldn't have put him away on Saturday night. The same thing there in the 8th inning, and we're sitting there and actually in the 9th inning, and we're up 4 in the 9th, and we're 1 out away, and just couldn't get it done. We were 1 strikeout away, and couldn't get it done. So being only up 1 run against that offensive club that they have, you certainly. You weren't just sitting there in a rocking chair watching it unfold. You were on your tippy toes, just hoping that we'd make the plays. And, you can't say enough for Tyler Stewart. The young man hadn't had a lot of opportunities, throughout the year. I think coming into that outing there, he'd been in, I guess that was his 20th appearance. But, in all honesty, he's only had 37 innings on the year, but he pounded the zone, got that first out with Danny's help, and then got a rollover 4-3 ground ball, and then got the all-important swing and a miss strikeout to give us that regional championship.
Scott Berry, head baseball coach, Southern Miss, on your radio right now. And we're looking at that big win yesterday, 8-7 over LSU to win the regional in Hattiesburg, and now they're going to host a super regional this weekend. Coach, every run's important. And getting it started. I know it wound up being a back and forth deal, but to get it started when Peto hits that home run to start the ball game, and it's huge because there's confidence there from the beginning. There's the feeling of we're going to win it, which you have to pull it off regardless of how it goes. When's the last time you had a leadoff guy go hit 16 home runs in a season?
Well, Carson's a redshirt freshman and has done a great job. Of course, he hasn't held that spot the whole year. Gabe Montenegro has normally been our leadoff, but when Gabe got hurt earlier in the year and took a ball to the face at the plate, he was out, and I had to make a move. Gabe had been for the last 4 years our leadoff guy, somebody had to go up there, and Pato, I'd been hitting him in the 8-hole and doing a really good job. I liked the way he took pitches and how he was working his at-bats. And, it came down to who do I want to have the most at-bats in a game. And Carson was the guy that kept coming to my mind, and not knowing if he was that typical leadoff hitter that we want. But, he embraced it really well. And I think we're like 16-0 with him in the leadoff spot. And, he does a great job. And, on that swing that you talked about yesterday to really kind of make a statement that we weren't going away and we were continuing where we left off the night before, you're always kind of worried, after that gut punch, obviously, on Saturday, and we lose it. Now we have to face Kennesaw State, who is coming off a win on Saturday to extend their season. So, we're really, it's a battle of two emotions, one that has momentum, the other one that's trying to get it back. And that Kennesaw State game, we're 3 outs away from being eliminated. I mean, literally, we were fixing to be the third-place team in this regional. But we were able to get it going in that late inning there in the game, and Sarge hits a walk-off. And, all right, so now you have to win that one to play the second one, and we do that. But do you have enough? Do you still have enough in the tank to come back and beat a LSU team that, that gave us an emotional loss on the night before? But our guys, they never checked up. I mean, they got after it on Sunday night to win that second game and then put us into the championship yesterday. Of course, you kind of worry about, did you just do too much the night before? Was it one of those kind of things? But then when Pato comes out, leads off with that home run, it was kind of like, yeah, we're not going anywhere. We're here and we're on a mission. So that was a big at bat.
Man, I know it's sort of preaching to the choir, isn't it, Coach, from me, but the razor thin margin, the margin in these regionals, you just said it. You're an out here, a pitch there, an inning here from being third place in the regional versus winning it. I mean, the margin is just so thin when you get in the postseason, isn't it?
It is, and let me tell you something. It was like that every game. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, they were all, at one time, except for LSU. Heck, they were down. They scored 10 runs in that inning. I mean, Army was up like, it was like they were up 10-4 or something, 11-4. They were up 11-4, and they came back and scored 10 runs in that inning. And that was late in the game. That was like in the 8th inning. I know it was in the 8th inning. I left the game in the 8th to try to beat the traffic out of here. And so, this was a really strong regional. And then also, I really want to give a shout out to the fan bases showing up. Had to be one of the top 5 in the country of the 16 regionals and atmosphere and just the excitement and attendance and, not only just by our fans, LSU fans, which you knew they were going to show up, and our fans have shown up all year long. It was just a terrific atmosphere, Matt. I mean, just one that I'm very proud of, and our fan base, how they came out and supported.
What does hosting this super regional with Ole Miss coming in, what does it mean, do you think, for the town, for Hattiesburg, the community, certainly the university, and definitely your program? Like, how do you sort of put in a box and tie a bow on it so I can understand just how much it means?
Well, I think it means everything because our community has really embraced our program. I hope it brings a lot of attention to our university as a whole and how important this university is to this town in South Mississippi, and people understand the economics behind it and what drives a lot of the economy around here. Certainly these events that we're fortunate to host and that we work hard to try to host is a big part of that. But just bringing it to Hattiesburg, we had the conference tournament here, which was huge. We had the regional here, and now with the super regional, there's a lot of financial money that's poured into this community and much needed, like every community needs.
Sure. Coach Scott Berry is a head baseball coach, Southern Miss. They beat LSU yesterday 8-7, win the regional. They're going to host Ole Miss. They are 2 wins away from Omaha. A lot of water's got to go under the bridge between now and then. They're going to play that first game on Saturday. Coach, I was watching yesterday the boat paddle. You may have been asked this before, but what's the story of the boat paddle in the dugout when things get going well?
Well, it just started this weekend. Actually, I think it just started on Sunday. They asked that in the post-game interview yesterday. I really didn't know the answer. Danny Lynch didn't really know the answer. I think Charlie Fisher just kind of picked it up and, just trying to, as crazy as baseball is, and just trying to, the shenanigans that are a part of the game, I guess that was one of them. And that was just something that he saw that we could pull power out of or whatever. And so somehow it appeared in the dugout. Now I can tell you what it's used for. It's used for mixing the Powerade powder in the coolers. That's what it's used for. So, but I guess now it's took on a whole new meaning for its use as well.
Well, and that's the thing. I was just fixing to ask. Was a boat paddle just laying around? But I'm glad to know that he didn't find the boat paddle and bring it to the game, especially to wave it around. It was just there. It was handy. That's good to know. But really, it's sort of emblematic of the atmosphere yesterday, wasn't it? Is that everybody from foul pole to foul pole, in and out, was pulling one direction. And it kind of takes that to, I don't know if you want to call it luck or what, but you got to have something that kind of swings it your way, and every little thing helps, I guess.
It does. At this time of the year, I think everybody's looking for just something that gives you an edge. I know I had a buddy come over the house last night. He said, "Man, I even went and changed my underwear in the third inning." And I didn't go that far, but I'll tell you what, there's some things that I ask sometimes myself. I go, "Are you crazy?" Sometimes I'd wear sunglasses if we scored. If we kept scoring, then I'd take them off, or I'd keep them on. If we didn't, then I'd take them off. And am I gonna wipe the sweat off my head this inning? It didn't work last. Sometimes it'll absolutely drive you crazy. Just trying to figure out a way to get some momentum and get some runs at times.
Well, and I use the word luck there, Coach, but really, it's not taking anything away from your team or any team that wins in the postseason to say this, but isn't it true that to win anything in baseball, it's just that luck, whatever that is, has got to go your way. There's a luck factor, isn't it?
I agree. There's so many variables in the game of baseball that can go a different way. Whether it's the bounce of the ball, whether it's a call here that would have been a 1-2 count now, but now it's a 2-1 count, advantage hitters. There's just, or that pitch meant the difference between a strikeout and now a home run that changed the whole complexion of the game. To where a lot of times I see in replays where I think it should be overturned or it should stand, and it's just the opposite. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
What is going on here? So you're right. At the end of the day, it takes a lot of luck, but you got to play hard. You got to do a lot of good things well to win baseball games. It's not easy to win them, and as a team, you've got to put forth the effort. You can't miss on opportunities. You got to create those opportunities, and you got, for the most part, you have to earn everything that you get.
No question. And last thing, Coach, you got an Ole Miss team coming in there that you're familiar with. Played them twice this year. Split, beat them in Pearl. They get the win 4-1. Got an excellent start on the mound in the Hattiesburg game, but it'll be different pitchers on the mound, and they seem to be about as hot as anybody right now. Went 3-0 in Miami. What kind of challenge are they?
Oh, they're a huge challenge. I have the utmost respect for Coach Bianco and his program, and I always have. Mike and I have been good friends for a long time. I feel like he's a man of integrity, character. I think he does things the right way. His players, they're professional when we play them, and I'm happy for him and his program. I know they were, I guess you could consider it very lucky to have gotten in the regional. But sometimes, like we just said, you've got to be lucky, and that's exactly what's happening. And they've taken advantage of the opportunity that's been given to them. And you're right; they're playing a very good brand of baseball. We know they have very good players. Maybe as the whole year played out, maybe it wasn't the year that they were wanting or everybody's expecting, but it doesn't matter. That's all behind you now. It's what you're doing right now. And it's the same way with us. You know, we've had a terrific year. There's a lot of great things that have happened to us this year, and we've earned every bit of it, but that's all in the past. It's where you are right now in the present.
Mm-hmm. Coach, tip of the cap to you. Can't wait to watch what's going to be the proceedings this weekend. The atmosphere will be absolutely busting at the seams. Again, congrats. Thanks for a fun ride so far, and here's to it continuing. Thank you.
Matt, thank you very much.
Yep. Talk to you soon. That's Scott Berry, head baseball coach, Southern Miss. Look, I mean, what do you want? I mean, what else do you want for a super regional? You're going to have in-state foes, two coaches that think a lot of each other and have coached against each other 100 times, it seems like, over the years. Have recruited the same players, will continue to recruit the same players, a lot of them, especially locally. And Southern Miss hosting that thing in Hattiesburg. First game is Saturday at 3. Game 2 Sunday at 3. They'll play Monday if necessary. Let me just tell you, that ball game yesterday, on the mound, Southern Miss sent 5 guys to the mound, and they walked 5 batters the whole ball game. And you're talking about an LSU lineup that they've been hot hitting the baseball, and they've got first rounders in their lineup. And so you're throwing a whole bunch of strikes and not walking anybody. They really got it done. And nobody was on the mound for longer than a couple of innings. They kind of pieced that thing together. And then, like you say, at the plate, Lynch goes 3 for 4. And I'm just telling y'all, Coach Berry, I had it loaded. I was going to impress him by bringing it up because I thought it was the play of the game too. Lynch drives in the go-ahead run, makes it 8-7 in the top of the ninth. But in the bottom, when he came back and made that stab over there at third base on a absolute rope one-hopper that would have been a leadoff guy for, getting on base for LSU, he made that play. I mean, that's a play of the game. The same guy who just drove in the run in the top of the inning. It was huge. Go back and watch it if you didn't see it. All right, hour 2 underway. Hope you enjoyed that interview. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Stick around.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Get this handsomely designed Timex self-wind. Is priced at only $14.95.
Hey guys, here at Davini, here's something we've got going on all our trailers. So we carry Orange Line, we carry Premier, we carry Performance, and we carry Texas Bragg. So all different sizes, shapes, configurations, from 20-foot trailers to dump trailers to 12-foot trailers, 10-foot trailers. We've got it all here at Davini. We not only sell trailers outright, but we also have a rent-to-own program. You guys could come in, 10% down, no credit check. You can leave out today with a trailer at a low price, monthly payment, no credit check at all. So you guys come check out our trailers. We have a lot of them here, and they're ready to go.
In insurance, it's our job to handle storms. And though coronavirus is a storm different than most, the agents, adjusters, and employees at Farm Bureau Insurance stand ready to extend a hand, love our neighbors, and work earnestly to serve our customers and communities. Our mission hasn't changed, so our work does not stop. If you need us, call your local agent, use the claims hotline, or visit us online. Be safe, stay healthy, keep Mississippi strong, and go with the home team.
I don't like to say house divided. I like to say we have best of both.
Growing up in Alabama obviously puts college football in your lap at an early age. You go to even preschool, and kids are like, who do you pull for? Alabama or Auburn.
So I was elected homecoming queen in the year 2000 at Ole Miss, and that was a really fun experience. It garnered a nickname for me from Matt. He calls me HQ, and I call him QB a lot. So
my name's Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show and podcast, and I host it in a studio in my house, and I've been doing that now for about 3.5 years. We used to have cable. And the biggest issue was when there would be a disconnect, and at times it would do that. I'd be mid-sentence, we're in this big discussion about some ball game, and it's gone. Annabeth can tell you, my excitement was genuine when I started seeing the C-Spire trucks up
He
and
was
down the street. And
like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like, "Did you see that? C-Spire is in the neighborhood."
So the day that he installed that, I started uploading, and I watched those 6 audio files go. I mean, just one after the other. And it's taken away a lot of the little stressors that would add up.
And it's just made everything better.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Homecoming Queen. Good to see you. Country Pleasing sausage. It's the best I've ever eaten, and I believe you'll feel the same way if you try it. Some of my favorite flavors are jalapeno and cheddar, pepper jack and green onion, and of course the original smoked sausage flavor. Look for Country Pleasing in grocery stores and Walmart all over the Southeast and online at countrypleasing.com. New King James Bible, Matthew chapter 4. What is a follower of Jesus? Matthew chapter 4, 18 and 19. Terry Fant, the pastor at Hickory Ridge, said this, and I think he's exactly right. Verse 18, and Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. So if you and I are following Jesus, what does it mean to be a follower of Jesus? We're following his teachings. We're studying that. We look to him for everything. We understand who he is, the magnitude of what he is and what he's done for us. But he says, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. And kind of like Terry said, if you're not fishing, you're really not following. Think on that today. All right, back. Love it when a plan comes together. What are y'all talking about? What's everybody talking about? We did have some Arizona football discussion just a little earlier, and it was going back to, yesterday's show, because team number 89 in the countdown of 100 teams was Arizona. And so we previewed them, and they're on State's schedule. They play them in week 2 of the year. State's got to go out there. Started talking about the state of Arizona. Jason, who lives out there, listens to the show online, and he commented, he called earlier. He was giving us sort of the lay of the land, what it's like there in September, all of that. And somebody was asking, what's Mike Leach's record? Because, he was in the pack for a while at Washington State. What's his record against Arizona? Will looked it up. And Leach is 4-2 versus Arizona. And that includes a win in 2016. They beat them 69-7. How about that? So thanks for doing the research there, Will. Well, actually, Will asked the question, then looked it up himself. So he answered it himself in the comments on the live stream on YouTube. So that's one way to be a part of the show. You can also text me. I'm going to get some text now on the Country Pleasing text line. But with that said, I will tell you, we do have team number 88 on the countdown of 90 teams in 90 days coming up later in the show. And we're getting late in the show, so it's got to be pretty soon. You ain't going to have to wait that long for the countdown. Team number 88. And I won't give you any hints. I just poured my mug full of coffee in my High Point Roasters mug, highpointroasters.com. High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi. highpointroasters.com. It's the best coffee you're going to have. It's the best I've found. I love it. So I got a mug full of coffee. I got no excuses now not to be excited and ready to go, ready to move forward. Let's see. Let me get over to the text line. I missed a few here a bit ago as we were talking with Coach Scott Berry. Rusty was looking at gas prices. He said, Matt, really excited about my trip to Arizona. Flight is booked, $430 round trip. Hotel booked, $500 for 2 nights. Tickets to the game, $37. He says that total beats the heck out of driving with high gas prices. Really pumped about the trip. #Hail State. Yeah, you're right, Rusty. You're right. Okay, you're going to actually spend a lot less by flying as opposed to driving and buying all that gas. But the thing is, it's so expensive. But the thing is, what if you went with a buddy and split the gas, and then think of all the sights you would see, all the stuff you could see out in that part of the country driving around. Places you're just going to stop and get out and look around and go, wow, look at this. I mean, you're going to be 60,000, 30,000 feet. You're not going to be able to see any of that. I'm just messing with you. You're right. Flying is the way to go. Rebel Godfather said, fly into Phoenix and rent a car. Phoenix to Tucson is a lovely drive. Okay. All right. Maybe that's what we're talking about right there then. Thank you. Miko texts the show. What's up, Miko? He said, Matt, my son is a huge Golden Eagle baseball fan and has hopes of playing there. And Miko, you wanted me to ask Coach Barry about buying tickets. Here's the thing. Now, they've got a ticket office there at Southern Miss, and you're going to have to go through them. I do know that. And I'm sure you could look it up at, just Google Southern Miss baseball or whatever. But the last time, not this time, but the last time prior to the regional that Coach Barry was on the show, I guess last week, and they're getting ready to host a regional, and we knew that LSU was going to be there, and everybody was so excited, and they're number 11 seed. And I said to him that tickets are not a problem to sell right now. No trouble selling tickets. He's like, no trouble. And he goes, in fact, there are a lot of people that think I have anything to do with the tickets. So people have been asking me. He said, I don't have anything to do with it. So it wouldn't have done me any good to ask him. Okay. So, and I don't really know what to tell you specifically of where to go and how to get the tickets for those ball games. I really don't know what to tell you. If I did, I would tell you right now. But, it might just be, get on that Google Southern Miss Baseball, get on their athletic website. I go there all the time to look up stats and stuff. You'll find the athletics list, staff list, and just call somebody, start asking around. They get you to the right place. If anybody listening knows of a web address or a phone number for their tickets or something that I could pass along to Miko, let me know and I'll text him back and just send it to him. Smokey said, good interview. To the top, I'm excited for my Southern Miss friend. Smokey's a big Tennessee fan. Tennessee's in the driver's seat. Who's going up there? Oh, Notre Dame. That's right. Hey, let's do that real quick. Real quick, Smokey. Let me do that. I hadn't done this yet on today's show. It seems late, doesn't it? Here are the super regional sites and game times starting on Friday. You've got 4 different super regionals that'll begin on Friday. The other 4 will begin on Saturday. So the Friday starting super regionals are Friday night, Notre Dame at number 1 Tennessee in Knoxville. Friday night, 5 Central, 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Is that okay with y'all if I just give you Central Times? I'll just give you Central Times. So Notre Dame at Tennessee at 5 on Friday. It's game 1. At noon on Friday, it's Texas at East Carolina. Speaking of East Carolina, did you see? So that's Cliff Godwin, Mike Bianco's former assistant. He's coaching at his alma mater. He's doing a phenomenal job at East Carolina. Did you see where the kid for East Carolina hits the home run late in that game yesterday, and the home plate umpire kind of comes out and didn't shove him, but sort of nudges him to get moving and run the bases as opposed to standing there admiring his home run? I thought it was totally fine. It was totally like he did it with total class. It wasn't like showing the hitter up, yelling at him, anything. He's behind him. He's like almost low key. The whole world's watching the ball. He is too. I'm going to say, hey, get going. Because it's the umpire's job to keep stuff from bubbling over and tempers flaring and showing each other up, right? To a degree. I thought what he did was fine. Some people didn't like it. I know Cliff Godwin's on Twitter. He's like, he didn't make a huge deal out of it. He's just like, well, why didn't he do that when they hit a home run and admired it? I get it. But I thought what the umpire did was totally fine. He's not yelling at the guy. He kind of runs up behind him and gives him a little nudge as if to say, okay, get going on your home run try. It's obviously going to be your home run try. Much different, okay, than what that umpire did a few years ago with Elijah McNamee in the home run against Stanford in the Starkville Regional. Remember that? Or was it a super? Anyway, yeah, he hits a home run late. As soon as he touched the ball, everybody knew it was gone. Huge crowd atmosphere. And he did a bunch of fist pumping and jumping around before he got to first base. But by the time he got to first base where the umpire was, he was already just jogging, and the guy chose to yell at him. I mean, it was really odd. Odd move by that particular umpire. I thought what the guy did yesterday at East Carolina was fine. Y'all may have a different opinion. Okay, the other Friday Super Regionals. You've got Louisville at Texas A&M. That'll be at 7:30 Friday night on ESPNU. And then at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, you're going to have Oklahoma at Virginia Tech. Oklahoma beat Florida to get there. All right, so here are the four that will begin on Saturday. Let's go in chronological order. Get this. Saturday, first pitch at 10 a.m. Central Time, not Eastern. 10 a.m. Central Time. Arkansas at North Carolina. Then at 3 Central Saturday is Ole Miss at Southern Miss. And then there are two really late games Saturday night. It'll be 9:30 Central Saturday night. UConn at Stanford on the West Coast and Auburn at Oregon State out on the West Coast. Of course, also, you'll have those supers that started on Friday playing their game twos on Saturday also. And like Notre Dame and Tennessee's game 2 is on ESPN, and so ESPN2 and ESPNU, and all these games are going to be ESPN, ESPN2, ESPNU. So by the time you get so Friday there'll be 4 games going on. Saturday there's going to be 8 games going on all over the place at one time or another, including way on into the night. And man, I'm pulling for Butch Thompson and Auburn. I am pulling for the Auburn Tigers and Coach Thompson and Coach Dye and all those guys. Greg Dye, that's, by the way, Greg, not Pat, but Greg. But look, how am I going to stay up that late and watch that on Saturday night after a full day of mowing grass and all that other stuff? How am I going to do that? I'm not going to make it. What is Ready Teddy trying to do? Teddy, what are you trying to do? He just texted Ole Miss to the top. I love you, Teddy. Unnamed texter said, you are not getting tickets to this unless you're an Eagle Club member, season ticket holder, or have one of those people buy it for you. Okay. Handyman also texted and said, I looked on the Southern Miss ticket office site. The cheapest I saw was $320 single game ticket general admission. Ooh. It's going to be bananas in Hattiesburg this weekend. Who doggies? All right, a little bit of time left. We'll hit the phone lines, and then we'll hit our countdown of 90 teams in 90 days. It's college football, and team number 88. We are 88 days away today from the opening Saturday of college football, and that's all coming up before I'm through with you. So y'all stick around here for just a few more in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Stay with me.
A better way to put words on paper. A remarkable electric typewriter, the IBM Selectric. This is what makes it different. An ingenious printing element that works faster than the eye can see.
What is a follower of Jesus? Matthew chapter 4, 18 and 19, verse 18. And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, saw 2 brothers, Simon called Peter, and Andrew his brother, casting a net into the sea, for they were fishermen. Then he said to them, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. They immediately left their nets and followed him. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. We look to him for everything. We understand who he is, the magnitude of what he is and what he's done for us. But he says, follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. And kind of like Terry said, if you're not fishing, you're really not following. Think on that today.
The IBM Selectric is versatile, too. From many different snap-on, snap-off elements, you can select the best type style for the job and be ready to type again in seconds.
Country Pleasing sausage. It's the best I've ever eaten, and I believe you'll feel the same way if you try it. Some of my favorite flavors are jalapeno and cheddar, pepper jack and green onion, and of course the original smoked sausage flavor. Look for Country Pleasing in grocery stores and Walmart all over the Southeast and online at countrypleasing.com. My favorite coffee in the world is from High Point Roasters in New Albany, Mississippi. My friend Dan the Coffee Man and his crew keep me caffeinated with the best flavors and blends that you're going to find anywhere, like Campfire Blend, Magnolia, and the classic New Albany Blend. Try it. Go to highpointroasters.com today and order some. You won't regret it.
Hey guys, it's Jonathan over here at Davini. Just going to show you a new tractor we just got in. So not only do we offer a full line of Kubota, New Highland, Toro, new equipment, we also carry lots of used stuff. So we just got this one in. This is a Kubota M7060 low hours, even got Bigfoot on the side of it. Not only new stuff, we do carry a lot of used equipment that goes through our shop, save some money, from buying something new. But check us out on our website, www.davini.com. We keep a full list of everything we've got used on there, as well as some new specials too. But yeah, check us out, man. Check us out if you guys are looking for something used.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
In insurance, it's our job to handle storms. And though coronavirus is a storm different than most, the agents, adjusters, and employees at Farm Bureau Insurance stand ready to extend a hand, love our neighbors, and work earnestly to serve our customers and communities. Our mission hasn't changed, so our work does not stop. If you need us, call your local agent, use the claims hotline, or visit us online. Be safe, stay healthy, keep Mississippi strong, and go with the home team.
My name's Matt Wyatt. I host the Matt Wyatt radio show and podcast, and I host it in a studio in my house, and I've been doing that now for about 3.5 years. We used to have cable, and the biggest issue was when there would be a disconnect, and at times it would do that. I'd be mid-sentence, we're in this big discussion about some ball game, and it's gone. Annabeth can tell you, my excitement was genuine when I started seeing the C-Spire trucks up and down the street. And
like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like, did you see that? C-Spire is in the neighborhood.
So the day that he installed that, I started uploading, and I watched those 6 audio files go, just one after the other. And it's taken away a lot of the little stressors that would add up.
And it's just made everything better.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Homecoming Queen. Good to see you. Back with you. I'm Matt in the Bureau, the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. Farm Bureau, go! With the home team. We got the countdown of 90 teams in 90 days coming up, but plenty of time to get that in. That's coming up for you. College football countdown. We are 88 days away from the opening Saturday of college football. Big weekend of baseball coming up. So fun times around here. Let's hit the phone. The Davini, well, not literally hit the phone. Phone's out there laying on a railroad track, sounds like to me. Rooster hanging on line 1 of the Davini phone. What's up, Rooster?
Hey, I just turned it in because I missed the show. But I heard you comment, and I heard the tail end of Coach Berry. They need to enlarge Pete Taylor. That's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It only seems 5,500.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's too small.
Well,
it's too small for a Super League.
Well, they could. Here's the sad fact of the matter, right? Like it's Southern Miss. It's not like Southern Miss and Southern Miss Athletics has just been flush with cash over the last 5 to 10 years. But that said,
I'll give them the money.
Okay. Well, let's just say they did raise it. They could, for a weekend like this, there's no question they could sell 10,000. They might sell 15,000 if they had a place to put everybody.
20,000.
Okay, but what I don't know, Rooster, is like what
10,000 Ole Miss fans.
But I know, but it's one weekend, and it's not often that you host a super regional. But what I'm saying is, if they had the money and did invest it to expand Pete Taylor Park, don't you think that even the regular season weekends they would sell more? they're selling plenty of tickets, I think, to justify raising the money to expand that place.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they've been averaging, but I'm just saying, if you want to host regionals and super regionals, you got to be bigger than 5,000. You got to be bigger. There's no way. Have we mentioned my boy Tim Elko?
Yeah, oh yeah, we've mentioned him.
Okay. And listen, bless your heart, I heard you mention the coach from Auburn. He ain't going to beat the the Beavers.
The Beavers?
But we're going to have four SEC teams at Omaha.
Okay.
That's Ponto's prediction.
Okay.
4 SEC teams.
And those
Auburn
are
ain't one of them.
Okay, so then
Auburn is not one of them.
so Ole Miss, Arkansas, Tennessee, and then who's the other one I'm missing?
You left out the Aggies.
That's right, Texas A&M. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I got you.
They're hosting.
Right.
Fantastic. Can you imagine Ole Miss following up Mississippi State win? I mean, I don't think it's going to happen. I can't see anybody beating Tennessee. But
I know.
Fantastic to get to that final.
No doubt.
That would be,
No
I
doubt.
don't know how it's going to work out, but just fantastic season with the Golden Eagles and the Rebels in Hattiesburg. But just like you mentioned earlier, you can't get a ticket unless you're Golden Eagle, whatever it is.
Right.
There ain't going to be tickets open to the public.
No.
Unless you're watching with a telescope, you know. But
Well, hey,
anyway,
you know what would be,
fantastic.
you know what would be an opportunity, and I'll just say this. And Rooster, I appreciate you calling. Thank you. It's good to hear from you as always. But y'all might remember years ago, C Spire did the C Spire Bright Lights series of ball games. We broadcast nationally high school football games, rivalry games in the area in multiple states, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. It's years ago, but one of the things they did is they had this big, huge mobile video board. It's like they'd bring a video board type thing that you'd see at a stadium, but they'd bring it in. And he'd have replay on it and video and everything. It was really cool. And somebody, if they could figure out a way at Southern Miss to have some sort of mobile video board and have it at the stadium, but turn where people could just tailgate outside the stadium who couldn't get in, but could see what's going on and sort of be a part of it, it'd be a fun thing for some folks. This is true. They'll have a lot of people on campus that'll tailgate and kind of just hang out that won't have a ticket to actually get in. It's true. And you do have to wonder if this doesn't spark, a conversation of, wonder if this would be a good thing to fundraise on to specifically maybe do something with the Pete. Update it, add on, build this, build that, new facility. I don't know. I'm not enough of a athletics financial situation guru to know what they can and can't do. I don't subscribe to Sports Business Journal. I don't need it. I might someday, but I don't now. So that's just that. All right. Team number 88 on the countdown of 90 teams in 90 days.
Woo! Shoot this thing!
Set your watch for 90. It won't be long.
90 days, Jerry!
Come on! Shoot this thing! 90 teams in 90 days. We are at team number 88 on the countdown. That means we are 88 days away from the big opening Saturday of college football, that first Saturday in September. 88, so it won't be long. All right, so team number 88 on the countdown from the Mountain West is... No, you don't know who that is. I did say they're the Mountain West. That's a clue. That's a fight song for the Utah State Aggies. They are the Aggies. Pretty good fight song, don't you think? And by the way, Utah State will play the Alabama Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa in week 2 of the season. It'll be their week 2, Utah State's week 2. It'll be week 1 for us. So in 88 days from today, Utah State plays Alabama in Tuscaloosa. However, they start the season the week before. Utah State actually begins the season, their season, hosting UConn on August the 27th. So you get an early look at them. And then will be televised, actually, because it's one of those first week games. Out there in the Mountain West, so Alabama is a non-conference for them. And their rival, I guess you could call it rival. I mean, they play it the last game of the season is Boise State. And Utah State is going to play at Boise State this year. Look at last year's Utah State team. They're a pretty good football team. They're a pretty good football team. They only lost 3 ball games the whole year. They won their bowl game, too. They beat Oregon State in the bowl game. So it's a pretty good football team out there. And they've turned out some coaches over the years, too. They've had some coaches that get hired away and go on and cash in and get big jobs. They started the season 3-0 last year at Washington State. They beat them 26-23, then beat North Dakota, beat Air Force, scored a bunch of points in those games. And then last year they played Boise in week 4, lost to them bad, 27-3, then lost to BYU by 2 touchdowns. So they were 3-2 after their first 5 games, but sitting there at 3-2, and then they went on a 5-game win streak to run it out to 8-2. They that 5-game win streak, they beat UNLV and Colorado State, beat Hawaii, put 51 up on them, won back-to-back road games, New Mexico State and San Jose State, scored a bunch of points. They lost to Wyoming. That was their last loss of the year, middle of September, but finished the year with wins on the road at New Mexico and at 19th-ranked San Diego State. And you'll remember that win at San Diego State was a big upset. San Diego State was ranked in the top 20, and Utah State went in there and beat them 46-13. So they were a, 3, 5, 8. I guess that was a Mountain West championship game. They beat San Diego State, right? Yep. So they were a 10-win team. They were 9-3 in the regular season. Go to 10 wins with the win against San Diego State in their conference title game, and then win their bowl game. So they win 11 games. Their 11th win was Oregon State in the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl. Didn't watch it, but that's a little bit of a glimpse at Utah State. Like I said, somebody commented. Will commented on YouTube. He says, they will be the Tide's Group of 5 sacrificial lamb game. Yeah, that's right. Utah State. 88 days from today. It'll be week 2 for them. It'll be the season opener for Alabama in Tuscaloosa, Saturday, September the 3rd. Okay, and, Rooster called in about the attendance. Need to build on to Pete Taylor. I don't know. It seems like it's a great place when you have right field roost. I've been there for a game before when they had a lot of people there for a game against Mississippi State. It was really a lot of people there. But, the grandstand's nice, press box nice. I don't know much about the facility underneath, like what the teams use. The outfield is great. The way the whole thing works is it's just a great atmosphere for college baseball. And it seems like the right kind of fit for the way they sell a lot of tickets. They really support it during the regular season. State and Ole Miss may be in the top 5 in college baseball attendance on average every year, but Southern Miss is in the top 15, top 20 every year. But it can grow. I mean, it really can grow. And somebody was pointing out that like Tennessee and Knoxville, their capacity is a little over 4,000. Texas A&M, their capacity is a little over 6,000 at what they call Bluebell Park there. So, I don't know, but could they, especially for weekends like this, if they had a bigger place, could they sell the tickets? You bet they could. No question. All right, thanks for tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same time, same place in the Farm Bureau Insurance Studio. For Bill, I'm Matt, all of us here on the show. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow. See ya.